We'll start recording. Hi guys, so today I'm talking to a band from London called Vienna Youth. They're an indie jazz band, and I'm going to be asking them a few questions, and they're kind enough to give me some time. We've got the Vienna James and Harry Cornforth, the lead singer and the drummer of the band. Hi guys, so first question, what would you say are some of the benefits of being a new band in London?
Well, if you're comparing to where we used to live, which was Devon, is just the opportunity to play in bigger venues, I guess, and more venues in that case. And just having, it's just realistically opportunity. There's not many, there's less people around in Devon that have different tastes. There's a much more variety of people in London, people you've never seen before, like people who dress so different to people in Devon, people who listen to such different music, just subgenres and everything. And it's just so much fun to explore that and see people attend your gigs that you've never seen before. It's just different identities everywhere. And just so much more creative as a city compared to the whole county of Devon. Just lovely.
Yeah. Vienna, is there anything you'd want to add on that?
I completely agree with what Harry said. No, it's definitely a nice transition.
Great. How have you guys been dealing with the pandemic in terms of writing music? Also considering the fact you can't like rehearse with musicians who you're in the band with. How have you been coping?
Yeah, it's definitely been different. We've had to adapt to the change, like everyone. But we kind of found new techniques that kind of serve us better than our old techniques as such. For example, like we did like late night conversations over the phone. We talked for hours about articles, about things that were happening out in the world that we couldn't control, but we kind of picked up on new things. It was good.
That's really interesting.
It's very sorry Dan. But it's very interesting how different we are writing songs these days, especially how our sound, I'd say, has changed in a way since we first started almost 5 years ago now. But I just love the transition period where it's basically me and Via staying up sometimes in the first and second lockdown until like 7 a.m. just doing voice calls and ranting about things, and then suddenly we're both like, oh, that sounds quite cool, let's add that to a song, and then things start to just unravel, and it's just a very weird but beautiful process to our songwriting now. I do like it.
That's great. Yeah, a lot of bands are saying there are a lot of benefits now, and people are more taking to Zoom where normally you just meet up in person, but now it's an extra platform where you can practice and talk about new ideas. And so next question, once bands are able to gig again, we all get back to normal. What's your main focus when you get back? Do you want to gig? Do you want to write? Do you want to rehearse? What's going to be your main focus when you get back into it?
Yeah, I think just dying to get back together, just to play together again, just start figuring out writing and new soundscapes, and and then get towards gigging and stuff, but it's a bit more normal.
We've mentioned a band retreat that we're planning to do. We're actually planning to possibly, if it's possible, to have a couple of other people that we may have feature in some of our future songs join us and just try to see what happens. I think our main priority we really want to do is start writing enough material for an album, I'd say. But at the same time, then before that even is shown to the world, we like to try and get more of our name across London and other parts of the country.
Great. Well, thank you for talking to me, guys. I've got one last question. So what advice would you give to musicians who are maybe struggling in the pandemic to write music?
I would say and it pretty much goes for not just songwriters and musicians, but it's just to give yourself time. Give yourself time to get back on track, to get those cogs working in your head. Creativity has been harder for most people, I'd say, in the pandemic. This last pandemic has probably been the hardest for, I'd say, majority of people. But everything's been on hold. Everything's backtracked. Everything is like just this sudden stop, this sudden stillness is our normality at the minute, and it won't be for too long, which is good. It'll start to progress. And if you can't find creativity during the pandemic, don't worry. It's going to be over sooner than you think. And we can just hope for the best and just get those cogs working in the head. You'll be fine. Just give yourself some time.
Great, guys. Well, thank you for talking to me. I hope the band goes well. And
thank you, mate.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Cheers.